Welcome back, gang. So we are currently dealing with my first chargeback scam, sort of. As everybody knows, my first order through my website was basically a scam, something similar. I'm pretty sure they were stolen cards with a fake address, and he placed like $4,000 over the course of like 2 or 3 orders. And so I obviously knew that was an obvious cancel right off the rip. But this video is for anyone that sells anything using Venmo or Cash App as a payment method. No, even with friends and family payments, you are not immune to chargebacks or scams, as I just found out this week. Now, the reason I say sort of is because the person that is charging me back didn't mean to charge me back. At least that's what my understanding is. My understanding is that I'm just getting hit in the crossfire. I had messaged him. He's kind of working with me right now, but he had said that there was fraudulent purchases on his credit card, and I think he told his credit card company, and they just was like, okay, everything after this date, charge everything back. And it just so happened that my transaction with him was after that date, and so I got hit with the dispute. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of the story, because I'm not a vegan. I like my meat and potatoes. Basically, I've done multiple deals with this guy. He's a local. I even delivered once to his house or his like dorm or residence or whatever you want to call it. I won't mention his name or anything because, like I mentioned earlier, he is working with me so I don't get screwed over in this crossfire. And it's not like it's like a huge sum of money that would put me way under. It's $415. Like, yeah, that's still a lot of money, especially over Pokemon cards. But like I could technically survive that hit, but $415 does hurt any business. And business as small as mine with as small margins as I have, yeah, that would be pretty rough. So Venmo sent me an email Friday night. It was very late Friday night. I want to say I got home at the wedding at like 11, and I want to say I saw the email at like 11:05 or something, either right before I got home or right after. And I immediately went to checking my website, like, all right, let me see what orders. Maybe like Wix will say, oh, there's like a chargeback during this, or there's like fraud or something. Didn't see anything. I was like, oh, they didn't pay with PayPal, they paid with Venmo. I was like, oh, okay, go through Venmo. I was like, I don't even see a purchase from this person on this date. And then I was like, oh, they bring it to the top and they say like, oh, it's on hold or payment on hold or something like that. It was just so stupid. It was a little confusing because I think I just, my blood was kind of boiling at the moment. I was pretty upset. I was pretty angry. Yeah, honestly, I had no idea people could do a chargeback when it was a friends and family payment. We will talk about how you are able to do that later in the video for educational purposes only. If you do this, you are a piece of shit. So I had immediately emailed Venmo for basically what details I need to provide for them, because obviously I know this was a legit transaction. I have met this guy before, and I sent them like details like, hey, we have transaction history and proof that we were communicating and proof that the buyer had authorized the transaction, as he basically said it in messages and Messenger through Facebook Marketplace. As most of y'all know, that's how I do my local meetups. It's usually through Facebook Marketplace, and Messenger. Sometimes I meet up people through Instagram if they don't have Facebook or whatever, and sometimes people just reach out during Instagram, but in this case, it was Facebook. After all that, I still haven't heard anything back from Venmo, so I'm still waiting on that. I'm not sure how long it will take, or if my account gets banned, or it just stays flagged, or if I ever get my money back, or what exactly happens. This has never happened for me, so I'm not really sure what I need to give them. What maybe he needs to give me information so I can give that to Venmo. I don't know. I guess I'm basically just in a waiting area trying to figure out, like, waiting for Venmo to get back to me on what details I need to give them, and then basically if I win the case or not. So after going through this and my blood stopped boiling and I kind of settled down, and asking around in a couple different discords like Anon's and DJ's and my own and another one of my friends' discords, I kind of pieced stuff together that's like, okay, this is possible because as a seller, I have no idea how the buyer actually pays for the product or whatever, pays for the transaction. We'll just put it that way. They could pay for it with a debit card, they could pay for it with a bank transfer type of deal, or they can pay with it with a credit card. So now the bank and the debit card, there is no fee attached to it. But if they pay with their credit card, I believe they incur the 3% processing fee. But as a seller, you don't see any of that. You just, in my case, I saw $415 hit my Venmo, transfer it to my bank account, no issues. But I guess on his side, he saw $415 plus whatever, 3% processing fee or whatever it is to use that credit card. And that's where they get you, essentially. So because you could use the credit card, it is a lot easier and a lot less stressful, I guess, for them to do a chargeback on you. Because if they go through the bank, I'm sure there's a bunch of loopholes and paperwork and stuff that they have to do. Again, I don't know how that side works, but I've done disputes with credit cards before. I've had issues with other sellers, like basically ripping me off with stuff and whatnot. So I have done that before, and it is as easy as, hey, I want to dispute a charge. And that's it. Like, hey, this guy didn't send me the right product, or this was a scam. I reached out, nothing. I've done that in the past, but in this regard, I guess, he was like, hey, there's a bunch of fraudulent purchases after this date. And like I said earlier, I guess he just said, all right, everything after whatever, May 12th, boom, everything's getting disputed. Our client didn't, or our card holder didn't authorize these. And so that's how I got caught in the crossfire. But again, that makes it so much easier for them to do that, because a credit card company is more likely to just be like, boom, we want our money back. When you use a credit card, you're not technically using your money. You're using the credit card company's money, and then you pay them back, essentially. And if you don't pay them back on time, you got to pay them interest. That's why you always make sure you pay off your credit cards on time. But as a seller, all I see is I got paid. I don't know if they use the debit card, the bank, the credit card, or there may be another way that I don't know of, but I don't know how they did. All I know is I got my money. I mean, that makes it that much easier for a friends and family payment to essentially be disputed as fraudulent or whatever it may be, and then they could easily win the case, especially, if they're a dishonest person and you did a local meetup or you're vending a card show. Yeah, you have no way of proving of that, that transaction. Yeah, you may have his name. Unless you're videoing it, unless you're, I don't even know. They probably wouldn't even take video transaction. Be like, oh, is this guy? They probably wouldn't even take that, because how do you email? I don't know. I don't know if that would work or not. I want to say probably not. Now, if you're vending, that's a lot harder to prove of any sort of history. You don't have a message log or a message thread or whatever where you can just screenshot and be like, oh yeah, we agreed to meet up here. This is when the transaction happened. We met here. This is what he bought. This is how much. And it all, mismatches and proves it. You just have you and the other guy talking, shake hands, and go your separate ways. The only thing you got is his name. And if he's an idiot, maybe a business card or something like that. Most people that are buying at card shows aren't handing out business cards or anything like that. So you have the name of the account, and maybe he told you his real name or not. Maybe the account's a fake name, whatever. You don't have an address. You don't have nothing. So to get your money back out of that, unless you are actively filming or something along those lines, it's going to be very hard to pretty much do anything. You're just screwed. And again, I didn't know this was even possible until now. I have been selling online through Facebook Marketplace, local meetups, and shows for the last 6.5 years. And I have never had something like this happen. After hundreds, maybe thousands of transactions, I have never had something like this happen before. So yeah, this is, it scares me a little bit, A, and B, now I definitely have to be more diligent with, who I'm having pay me what way. If I feel they're a little sketchy, or I feel, maybe this person might be dishonest, yeah, you're only paying me with cash or Zelle, or Wise, but Wise, I'm pretty sure the buyer or whoever's sending the money has to pay a small fee for USD to USD. I believe it's a larger fee to use like international currencies like the Japanese yen and stuff like that, because I use Wise to send money to Japan and China. I believe I pay a little bit higher of a fee than if it was the USD to USD, because transfer and stuff like that, I guess. So what am I doing moving forward? I will be looking to do more sales, cash, Zelle, Wise. As I said before, cash, obviously, as long as it's not counterfeit cash, you're good. Zelle, I believe Zelle is just like a wire or a transfer. So yeah, good luck getting your money back after that. Same thing with Wise. Wise is basically the same thing. It's basically you could wire, you could use a debit card. You can use a credit card on Wise as well, I think. but you pay a way larger fee to do that. Same thing with the debit card. ACH payments, you pay a smaller fee, and if you already have the money in your Wise account, you pay an even smaller fee because I believe it's just a transfer. My goal is to keep everybody updated as we go through this. It'll probably be in the June business update video unless there's a very long drawn out process to do this and there would be enough content to make its own video. I kind of don't think that's gonna happen, but as of now, I'm just in the standstill waiting for Venmo to basically tell me more information, what else they need to hear from me and maybe from this other guy. I think at worst, even if I lose the case through Venmo, I think there's a possibility the guy would do the right thing and give me the $415 back, especially because I know where he lives. I know his name. We've done multiple transactions and everything's been good. Again, $415, not life-changing money, but still a decent amount of money for most people, especially for shiny cardboard. That's the big thing here. That's really all I got for you guys. Check the links in the description of the video. Shop my website to save me from financial ruin due to a large chargeback. This is Max Pax signing out. I'll see y'all on the next video.